How's it going?
Awesome.
Hello, Jack.
Awesome.
Good to hear. Well, let's talk about Will Venable. Shot or no shot, simple as this. The Sox made a very good decision in hiring Will Venable.
Look, he's unproven. He's never been a manager, so I don't think you can say that. I like him very much. I think he's a really, really good guy. But do you ever see the jockey carry the horse across the finish line? The answer is no.
Yeah, but I would say yes. They hired someone who has seen winning organizations for the past 10 years. He's been with winning organizations. He knows what it takes to win. He's young-ish, like he's 42. So he can identify with the veterans and the older players, but he can also, garner respect from the younger players. He can also, develop these younger players. Like, no, they're not going to automatically be a playoff team because they added a manager. But I do think that out of the guys that they were going after, this is probably the best option.
My concern for Venable is he's in a lame duck situation already. Shot or no shot, Venable will be here for the White Sox next winning season.
I mean, when's their next winning season?
That's what I'm saying. I'm a little concerned that he got himself into a tricky situation here where the team's still a few years away from competing. He's going to look over a rebuild and he won't be here for success.
Jerry is intensely loyal. I guess the length of the contract will be something that would probably answer that question. I'd like to know is he signing a 5-year deal? Is he signing a 3-year deal? That would make some indication to me, but I would bet he's north of 3 years. And so I think they will have a chance to have gotten to a winning record while he's the manager. Yes.
All right.
Jack.
Okay. Back to football.
You love doing that.
I do.
Check.
The Vikings traded for Cam Robinson, left tackle from the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday. They gave up a conditional 4th-round pick. A lot of Bears fans obviously still think the Bears need help on the offensive line. Robinson maybe could have provided that help. Shot or no shot, you're disappointed that the Bears didn't trade for Cam Robinson.
No shot.
No shot.
Whatever. It's Cam Robinson.
Yeah,
Sweet
you're
mother
not.
of God. You're treating him like he's, Jimbo Covert again.
Listen, it's probably to the detriment of the team, but I believe Ryan Poles thinks that this line is fine right now. When we get to the offseason, I think that's when you'll see more pertinent moves to the offensive line. You have 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, and then you also have a bunch of cap space. So go out there and address it with high priority moves, not the way you did this year with, late round picks and projects and former starters and all that kind of stuff. Like, really go out and address the line. I just don't think they're going to do it at the trade deadline.
Yeah, you don't normally see top-level offensive linemen traded at the deadline.
Because they're hard to find.
Correct.
So
teams hang on to them.
Even if you're a team that's, quote, in crisis mode, like we've been talking about, it's hard to find good offensive linemen. You're not just trading a left tackle that's good, who you think is going to be around when you do find a good quarterback, because you want that guy protecting your young quarterback.
Correct.
So I think in the offseason draft, that kind of thing is when we're going to see it. So no shot, not upset. Jack.
All right. Well, the Chicago Bears are not favored right now against the Arizona Cardinals, even though I believe the Bears have a better roster than the Cardinals. Cardinals are favored by 1 point. Shot or no shot, the Bears should be favored on Sunday over Arizona.
No shot. Eberflus has never, ever won a Sunday road game as the Bears head coach. Not one. And overall, he's 3-17. And as the great, esteemed Gregory Thomas Waddle said to me, and he said to the audience, the 3 quarterbacks he's beaten on the road were Sam Howell, Josh Dobbs, and who was the third one? There's
Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi.
It's a combination of Bailey Zappi and Zach. Yeah.
Those are the 3 that he's beaten. That's it. So no shot. Go out and beat their ass, and I'll give you credit.
Yeah, I think that in a vacuum or not looking at trends that way, they should be the favorite. They are the better football team. They have the better roster. I've said that about the Colts, and I said that about the Commanders, and they lost both those games. So, yeah, I mean, they should be on paper. They are the better football team. They don't have the better offense, but the X factor is they have the better defense. And I think they'll be able to keep Kyler Murray in check the way they did Jaden Daniels for 90% of that game, 98% of that football game. And I mean, they didn't let Jaden Daniels into the end zone until the end of the game, the very end of the game. The game was over before they let him into the end zone.
That is correct.
And the ball had to be tipped into a receiver's hands. So they gave up a lot of yards, sure, but they didn't punch it in, but it was a bunch of field goals. So I think they should be the favorite. But I wouldn't make them the favorite, but I think they're the better football team just because it's on the road. This was, if this game was here, they'd be the favorite. If this game was in Soldier Field, they would be the favorite. It's a 1-point spread. I mean, usually home field advantage is now, it's not 3 anymore. It's like 2, 2.5. So yeah, they would be the favorite if it was here. It'd probably be a pick 'em if it was neutral site, and it's in Arizona. So yeah, I mean, but they are the better team.
Jack.
Sorry.
So Sunday's loss was a big heartbreaker for the Bears. And the way I look at it, it might have been one of the most heartbreaking Bears losses that I've ever seen. Shot or no shot, Sunday's loss to the Commanders was one of the 5 most heartbreaking Bears losses of your life.
Well, first of all, the double doink is top of the list.
Yeah, double doink's number 1.
The Chester Markle Packers kicker getting his kick blocked on the last play, or the next to last play, and he ran it in.
Is that game in color?
Yes.
Okay.
Not great color, but color.
Okay. Definitely not in HD though, right?
The loss to
Green Bay with Randall Cobb at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Those are probably the 3 worst I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, just go off of last year. They should have lost to the Browns. I don't know if it was, you want to call it heartbreaking, the loss to the Broncos. I don't know if that's as heartbreaking. Like, you should have won those games. Those are games you should have won.
No question.
I think that the Packers loss at the beginning of the season last year was pretty heartbreaking. I think people tend to forget how hyped this city was heading into that game.
Yeah.
Having a top 10 or having what you thought was a top 10 defense, all the additions that they made on defense, thinking that Justin was going to be the guy, Aaron Rodgers finally gone. We didn't know what Jordan Love was going to be. Beginning of the season.
And that was the Packers were my play of the year.
In that game?
Yeah.
Well, good for you. What good did that do us?
It wasn't even close.
So yeah, I think that maybe is not top 5 heartbreaking, but I don't know if I mean, listen, as an Alabama fan, like kick 6 is like it's kick 6 and it's double doink and it's Sunday, like it's those 3. Like I didn't move for a good hour and a half after the kick 6.
Yeah, the Randall Cobb one's right there. Right there.
Yeah, Randall Cobb's pretty bad.
That was awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Jack.
Lonzo Ball is the other news of the day. Unfortunately, he has a sprained wrist. Bulls are going to reevaluate in 10 days. Shot or no shot, Lonzo Ball stays healthy enough and plays well enough that the Bulls can trade him this season.
Yeah, that's a no shot.
No.
Nobody's taking on that money with that health history. No shot.
No, I don't think so. Unfortunately, I think you're stuck with Lonzo Ball through his contract. So I'm going to say no shot on that as well. Hopefully, Zach plays well enough to where you can trade him by the deadline.
They've only got 1 year left on Lonzo's deal.
Yeah, so then it's fine. I just hope that this team realizes what they should be doing at the trade deadline, which I don't think they will.
Unplugging.
Yeah, well, listen, Cooper Flag is just sitting there. So you should try to put yourself in a position to get Cooper Flag.
Agreed.
But I don't think they will.
Agreed. Jack.
Yeah.
Last one, the Bears changed practice today from a regular open practice to the media to a closed walkthrough. Shot or no shot, this is a story because there's some people that have picked up on it and said, oh, no, they're hiding from the media. Do you think that's true, shot or no shot?
Well, when they were in London, they also did a Wednesday walkthrough, and they're banged up, man. They are banged up. Montez Sweat has a shin, and we've got Brisker in the protocol. Hopefully he's coming off of it. And Kyler Gordon with a hammy, and this one and that one. And Tevin Jenkins is banged up. I think they were down 3 offensive linemen as the game unfolded. Bill Murray tore his pec, done for the year.
Yep.
Braxton Jones with a knee, and then Tevin Jenkins. And so I don't think he's hiding something. I think he's going through a walkthrough and he's like, we're going to close ranks here and we are going to lock in, period.
Yeah, I don't think it's I don't think it's a thing. I think it's more injury based. I think they don't want anything to pop up in practice because they are so limited on the offensive line because Montez Sweat is hurt. I mean, look, when we get the injury report today, it's going to be lengthy. That injury report's going to be pretty lengthy today. And they're not ducking the media, and people might think that they're ducking the media. Matt Eberflus and Caleb Williams, and probably DJ Moore because he's usually the other Wednesday guy. There's usually 3 Wednesday guys. It's always Matt Eberflus and Caleb Williams, and then it's usually DJ Moore. At least Caleb Williams and Matt Eberflus are still scheduled to meet the media today at 12:25. You can hear it on Carmen and Yurko with Shay in for Carmen. And that's not ducking the media. You're still meeting the media.
Correct.
It's like a half an hour after you normally would.
Yeah,
but I don't think closing, because whatever they do in front of the media in practice that they're allowed to see,
it's nothing.
It's nothing anyway.
We've all been there. It's nothing.
It's not like they're hiding what Jaden Daniels, like the Commanders were last week, how they said there were reports that he wasn't out there practicing, but then they have like one of those indoor facilities where he was practicing, and so he technically was practicing, but none of the media saw him, so they all reported it as Jaden Daniels isn't out there. They're not doing any of that. They're not hiding anything. They're just having a closed door walkthrough. I don't think it's not a closed door meeting. They're not, they probably did that a few times this week, but I don't think it's anything to say that, the Bears are scared. They're hiding from the media. They're still meeting the media.
Agreed. By the way, the Jayhawk is weighing in on one of the shot or no shot questions.
Mm-hmm.
He still wants to produce. Trust me. It's killing him that he's not involved more like that. He says, double doink over losing the Super Bowl to the Colts. Yeah.
Yeah.
That as the game wound down in the Super Bowl, disappointing? Yeah. But stunning like that? It wasn't a kick in the teeth.
If the double doink happens in the Super Bowl, yeah, that's the worst.
That would be the worst loss of all time if the double doink happened in the Super Bowl.
But I think that watching that game, obviously the high of Devin Hester returning the kickoff, and you're like, oh man, this is great. The Colts the Colts had Peyton Manning. Like, they were the better team. Yeah, yes. You had a better defense, but like, Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, is back there. You're out there with Rex Grossman.
Correct.
Like,
totally agree.
It's heartbreaking. It's not number one. Double doink is definitely number one because looking at the NFC, like the Bears could have really done something if that ball goes through the uprights. Also, if the offense plays better in the first half, it's, neither here nor there. Not going to crap on Trubisky when he's not around.
Yeah, be nice.
Just saying.
Try and be nice.
Could have played better in the first half.
Try and be a nicer person. He did throw for 315 yards in the game.
Cool.
Yeah, and made a beautiful back shoulder throw to Allen Robinson to set them up.
Awesome.
Found a way to get him down there.
Where was that in the first half?
The game wasn't over at the end of the half. It should have ended on a field goal.
No, games shouldn't end on field goals. You should put yourself in a position to win.
Well, guess what? He had them won, and they screwed him.
He had them in field position. It's not won until it's won. The Bears had the game won on Sunday. That's having the game won.
They did. No question. All right, we will go around the National Football League.
Did Jesse wake up yet?
Yeah.
Call Jesse.
I've called him.
Wake
He's
his
asleep.
ass up.
He had a late night
It's
World
9:15
Series
in New York.
coverage last
hold
night.
on. Do we know what hotel he's at?
No, I don't.
Does the Jayhawk know? If the Jayhawk knows, get us the number. We'll call him on the air. We'll wake his ass up on the air. Hello. You're in the air, Jesse Rogers.
Just call his cell phone. Keep calling it.
He was at bars interviewing fans last night about
I don't
interfering
care.
with
We're
plays.
doing a morning show in Chicago. I don't want to hear that. Get your ass out of bed, Rogers.